Hi everyone, my name is Dexter McMillan and I'm an associate producer with CBC News in Toronto. So while I was hiking through the woods of Ontario several years ago, I was just getting absolutely swarmed by mosquitoes, just eaten alive. And I began kind of musing out loud to myself, as a joke, is my life in danger here? And so I've become a little obsessed with finding the answer to this question ever since. So a quick warning, we are talking about blood and death here, so if you're squeamish at all, you may just want to mute. Take care of yourself. So other people have tried to answer this question, but I find the details in those answers really lacking. So we're going to approach this mathematically using pandas and a number of assumptions. Now, of course, there are many ways to die from mosquito bites, disease, anaphylaxis, etc. But here's what I want to answer today. How many mosquitoes would it take constantly hovering around you and biting you as much as they can to overcome your body's natural regeneration and threaten your life? So first, I'm gonna walk you through the repository here as I go. So first, we're going to import pandas, and then we're going to start with some human variables. So human blood is about 55% plasma and about 45% red blood cells. Now, there's some other things mixed in there, but we're simplifying here a little bit. Because they both regenerate at a separate rate, we're going to calculate them separately here in our table. So according to the American Red Cross website, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to regenerate the lost red blood cells from a donated pint of blood, and about a day to regenerate the lost plasma from that pint of blood. So those calculations are represented here. We do 3 separately. So we're doing the fastest rate, which is 4 weeks, the slowest rate for red blood cells, which is 6 weeks, and then the plasma regeneration here, which is about a day. And then we've got this variable here that converts to milliliters because I'm in Canada. So a quick note here too, that while other attempts to answer this question deal with the amount of blood a human being has in its body, it's actually irrelevant here because I'm only interested in the tipping point where mosquitoes start to overwhelm your body's natural regeneration. So onto the mosquito variables here, we'll just run this block. Now, a mosquito can take about 5 microliters of blood per meal, and the best estimate I could find on how often a single mosquito can bite you is about once every 3 days. So that's what this calculation is right here. And when mosquitoes bite, they take a volume of blood that's made up of plasma and red blood cells, among other things again, in a proportion that's kind of roughly equal to the proportion that you have in your body, so 55-45. So I've got those calculations here of how much plasma and red blood cells a mosquito is taking every time they bite you. So we're going to run that block now. And now it's time to build out the swarm of mosquitoes, which is just a pandas data frame where each row represents a certain number of mosquitoes that's swarming you. So we start an empty data frame here, and we populate it with a column that represents the number of mosquitoes. Here I've done from 1 to an arbitrary number, which is 300,000, which should be enough to cover us. So, and then here is where I actually, build the columns out. So I do one for plasma, one for the slowest red blood cell regeneration, and one for the fastest range of the red blood cell regeneration. So you can see here, it's just the human being's ability to regenerate minus what the mosquitoes are taking as a whole from you that day. So we'll run that and take a look at the results. And now you can see we've got our pandas data frame here. So what we're really interested in here now is the point in each column where the values flip from positive regeneration to negative every day. So we'll call that the danger zone. So here I'm doing exactly that. I'm finding a point in each of these columns where the values flip from positive to negative. So we'll run that, and this analysis is showing that according to my assumptions here, it would take anywhere between 6,700 mosquitoes and 10,000 mosquitoes to overwhelm your body's natural red blood cell regeneration rate. And quite a few more than 250,000 to overcome your body's plasma regeneration rate. Now, I was going to graph this in Data Wrapper, which is a tool I love to use to kind of visualize this, but I'm actually out of time, so I'm going to wrap up here. If you are interested in contributing to this project, there's many more ways we can look at this. Feel free to check out the GitHub repository, which I've put up on the screen there, or feel free to get in touch with me via Twitter. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of your sessions.